Hello guys, so today we will take a look at Soviet World War II POMZ anti-personnel mine. When we talk about POMZ series, so we have the World War II POMZ, then we have post-war POMZ-2 and POMZ-2M. We will get to the differences later. So this is anti-personnel fragmentation mine. The POMZ-2 stake mine resembles a fragmentation hand grenade mounted on a stake. The mine contains 6 rows of metal fragments propelled by 75-gram charge of TNT. The mine is not internally threaded to accept a fuse. This is the POMZ-2 variant. The newer version, the POMZ-2M, is a post-World War II design and utilizes a modified fuse well, which is threaded to accept externally threaded fuses. So in the World War II version, we were mainly using the MD2, and the post-war variant uses MD5M that actually have the external threading. Also, the rows of metal fragments on the POMZ-2M are reduced from 6 to 5. The lethal radius of the POMZ-2 and the POMZ-2M is about 25 meters. This mine is normally by the book employed in groups of at least 4 mines equipped with tripwires. However, it can be employed singularly. The earlier models used the move pull fuse. The newer POMZ-2M uses the move 2 move 3. The main difference is that move 2, move 3 and move 4 have actually arming device, so the setting up of the mine is actually much safer. This entire family of stake anti-personnel mines became very popular during World War II, so we have the POMZ Soviet one, but also there is German copy. The main two construction ways is that either the outer jacket of the mine is made out of metal, basically casting, or out of concrete, which is the case for the German and, for example, Czechoslovakian version. What they did is that they just took concrete and put metal fragments into the concrete mixture. What that did was a reduction of basically cost and necessary materials to create this mine. In the 1970s, these mines were declared obsolete, but they were not phased out. Even to this day, they are actually in storages in many countries. In the 1970s, we can see the movement in Soviet army toward the OZM-72 jumping mine, which basically replaced this one. The POMZ mines are delivered in wooden crates that contain 8 mines each. The main charge is 75-gram pressed block of TNT in most of the cases. Also, there are some slightly stronger variants, for example Yugoslavian ones, that actually used 100 grams charge of TNT. Since these mines were mainly deployed without any arming safety device, we need to also do some specific steps when planting this mine. The main safety rule is that you actually keep the wire, the tripwire, a little bit loose. So for example, something that I will make a bit tighter in case that I'm working with Move 4 series of fuse that have very reliable arming system. In this case, I just keep it a little bit looser, exactly as explained in the manuals. Okay guys, so here we having our POMZ mine set. So as standard we getting one wooden peg, we got metal one like more modern one, but in the same shape, let's say. Then we getting this main peg that go under the POMZ mine itself. This one I made, but in the set you should get pre-made one. Then we having 75 grams little brick of TNT with a small nest for detonator inside. If it does not have the nest, it's like solid, we need to make hole in it somehow. Then we have the main body of POMZ mine, our tripwire and our move with MD5 detonator. This is World War era improvised move. Of course, you might use the most modern combination with MD5M and Move 4 as well. It will work. We know that our Soviet, post-Soviet republics default firing device is the Move series. In our case, we have Move 4, basically the latest version, and also the most dominant version in armaments of Ukraine and Russia as well. But how to make this device in your home, how to make it makeshift as a partisan, and this was the main problem during World War II. So today we will take a look at World War II firing device that basically imitates the functionality of the move. As a base we have a empty casing, brass casing from 7.62 by 54R. where the rim was removed and the threading was made to accept MD2 or MD5 detonator. They have the same thread pitch, so you just screw it in like so. Other than that, other than the threading, what else we have? We can see that the top is basically folded, like 1 millimeter of it, it's folded inwards to create a rest surface for the spring inside. And of course we attaching our tripwire to this pin. When we fire it, then we have our spring. The firing pin is very interesting in construction because it's made only from 2 millimeter thick sheath of metal with firing pin made on top, then the wings to rest on the spring, to compress the spring. And then we have one hole for the firing pin, and then we might add additional pin on top. So when we setting up the tripwires, we have basically like secondary safety. If this firing pin get pulled, it will jump down, but still it will catch on the second pin, so it will not fire the detonator. What was my main concern was that the width of the firing pin and the width of the base, there is really big difference. And I was concerned that the point of the striker might actually not hit the top. But I made some testing and I think you can see here on top that it's hitting pretty much in the center or around the center. There are basically two ways how to plant this mine by the book. The first one is just a very simple tripwire, so you take stake, you keep around 5 meters of tripwire and then the mine. There should be a very big accent in camouflaging the mine because the mine is not underground and it basically needs to be in the level of legs of the enemy, so in theory those are very easy to spot. The second way how to do it is a little bit like on OZM72 jumping mine. So you have mine in the middle, then you have tripwire that is basically separates on the right side and left side. The sector covered by this method should be around 8 meters total. By the book there should be only 3 centimeter gaps of the exposed pack than the body of the mine, but in practice those mines are planted a little bit higher. Now let's talk a little bit about my personal experience with these mines. In all of our schools there is always little exhibition of ordnance, basically what kids should avoid. This is result of mainly World War II and of course of our current situation as well. In the 2014 period, we of course were sometimes staged in such schools, so there were original POMZ2 mine bodies basically on the exhibitions. What we were doing was to take this mine, fill it with plastic explosive and just put hand grenade fuse. So as a result you just had a massive hand grenade that had around 250 grams of plastic explosive, hand grenade fuse on top, and this proved to be kind of interesting, although in use very specific tool. In the field, I've seen this mine planted only once. That was around 2016 on the enemy side of the Kalmius River. And the mine was actually planted very obviously, basically in the middle of the field. And it was very easy to tell that it was POMZ mine even in the middle of the night, although while using night vision. And the mine was planted so visibly, so obviously in the middle of the field that it little bit spooked us. And we basically avoided it and walked around 100 meters away around it because it might actually be a lure. In theory, there also might have been anti-personnel mines planted around this site. Other than that, when we reading our modern updated post 2022 literature, it's said that the cases of use of this mine were registered but never on a scale, basically only as a result of the individual sappers that just had those laying around and decided for whatever reason to use those in some very specific cases. So first of all we are placing the pack where the tripwire will be attached. And then we need to choose spot where we will place our main mine. Of course the big stick itself, it's very big diameter. This is good enough. Next step we are taking our tripwire. God knows how old is this one actually. Alright, that's that, and we running our tripwire to our mine. So first of all we got our tripwire here. we put something on it so it doesn't spring back. Then what we do is that we insert the 75-gram bag of TNT inside the mine. That is just hollow, like so. And we place it onto the pack. And again we need to seat it in properly. Then we taking our move detonator and insert it from top. There is no threading in the body of the POMZ mine. And it's completely okay to use like some little piece of wood, something to remove the wobble from the assembly. And of course now we need to be careful because there is no arming device like on move 2, move 3, move 4, nothing like that. And again we are careful to take all of our tools or of fragments of our work with us. You might even bury it under the snow in winter time, or just do something quick and easy like this. So now we have this little path covered. We having our pack, our tripwire, running to our POMZ mine. Alright, so this is the target situation for the POMZ2 mine. We have mine in the middle, slightly higher than should be by the book, let's say twice as high, because of the ground being very solidly frozen. Then we have target to our left around 3 meters. Then we have approximately 5 meters and high target over there. Another 4 meters target here. And only like 2 meters from the mine, another target. So we have 4 targets in total. One might say that we are in target-rich environment. So guys, let's check the results. So here you can see the mine. You can see the very nice star pattern in the snow. You see what it's left of the pack. And we go first target. Let's look from the clean side. So target 1.5 meters away. You can see that the result is actually not that fantastic and that the shrapnel holes are actually surprisingly small. But definitely there is a lot of little ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see a lot of them, but small ones. Other target from center, around 6 meters, 5 meters and up. And you can see that the small shrapnels are present, but there is one really big one and a couple of smaller ones. So this one would be my biggest concern, definitely. Then we have from center to the left. And here we can see relatively small peppering, but this one for example doesn't look that great. So yes, we can see some shrapnels present. 1, 2, 3, but they are small. Alright, that's that. And then we have from center 2 meters and up. And we can see that here you would have real big problem. You can see the big number of shrapnels, small one and big one as well. Very interesting. So what do I think after all about the POMZ series of mines after our test? Well, as you've seen, it's pretty effective. When we compare it to, for example, normal F1 grenade on tripwire, of course we're getting the instantaneous move firing device hitting the primer instantaneously, so that's big plus. the amount of explosive, it's very comparable to normal F1 grenade, but thanks to the much bigger, much heavier body, we're getting so much more shrapnel and so much more effectiveness as a result of that. So it's a relevant device to this day. Let's say that you are in a situation where you just found somewhere pile of the bodies of the POMZ mines, which is actually quite normal occurrence in some countries, because since signing Ottawa treaties, most of the countries just destroyed the stockpiles of anti-personnel mines, and this is an anti-personnel mine. And you can basically find big dumps just with the bodies of the grenades. When you refill them again with explosives, put the firing device on, it works. Now, as a totally makeshift device, I don't really see anybody making hollow castings in the middle of desert, let's say. But what you can actually do is to do the concrete version of those stake mines. So you just take concrete, you take pre-fragmented shrapnels, let's say whatever metal you have at hand, and put it in concrete mass, fill it with explosive, and it will be pretty effective to this day. So be careful about hitting those. But thanks to the international help and also thanks to our old stockpiles of OZM72 jumping mines, we have so much more better devices to this day. But sometimes you just need to improvise. You can't always reach those most modern devices when you need them. If you wish to support us, you can do so through the PayPal link down below or become YouTube member for extra videos. Thank you very much guys for watching and see you in the next video.